happy. Come on in. I've been missing you. So today is our art day, which is Friday, and we're going to work on the worksheet that you got in your packet, which is on landscapes. So we're going to break it down for kindergarten and first grade. It's going to do something a little bit different than second and fifth grade. So I want you in kindergarten and first grade to work on a close-up view. That means that you're going to see your tree really close up. So it's really big in your picture. Focus on the sky touching the ground. Work on drawing a tree and decide what season you are showing. Because in kindergarten, you guys worked on different seasons and trees already. Can you add yourself next to the tree? No stick figures. Remember, we use shape. Can you color your picture in with crayons or markers? This is optional. But remember, a picture of outside is called a landscape. That's our vocabulary. So let me show you for kindergarten and first grade what I did. So this is the worksheet. And on the back, you can just use the back of your paper. If you don't have a lot of paper, you can just turn your paper over and use the back. So what I want you to try to do is do a close-up view, which means whatever's in the front is going to be really big. So this tree is a summer tree because you can see that it has a lot of leaves. And Mrs. Morris drew herself next to the tree, and I used shape. And then I added some detail. This is where the sky and the ground would touch. So if you decide to color your sky, make sure that you're coloring all the way down to this line. And that line is where the sky and the ground touch. If you go outside, you will see that. So I'm just going to show you the little thing that I did here to help you. So there's lots of ways that you can draw a tree. It doesn't have to be one way. You know, you might make the top of this round. You might do it a little different. This tree is a winter tree, and I know that because there's no leaves on the tree. This is a tree that you might see right now because it has little leaves. So look outside, think about what you're drawing. We're not going to draw a stick figure because in kindergarten and first grade, we work on drawing people using the element of shape. And you can see how Mrs. Morris used a rectangle or a triangle for the top or a rectangle here for the body. So make sure you're drawing it in shape and not as a stick figure. And this is a landscape because it is a picture of outside. So if you are in second and fifth grade, I would like you to remember you're learning about landscapes and how to create distance in your landscape by using these vocabulary words below. Foreground, background, horizon line. This should be a review for you, because we start doing that in second grade, and then in fifth grade we keep adding every year. So fourth and fifth grade, I would like you to add more detail to your landscape and add and apply texture and line. So I'm going to give you an example of what Mrs. Morris did for this lesson. So turn your paper over, make sure that you are using the back of your paper, and remember, the horizon line is where the sky and the ground touch. And I think you probably remember that we studied that. Third grade just did this whole lesson with me about how to apply and how to make things smaller. And as they get closer to you, they get larger. See the fence? That post in the back is very small, but as I draw it, I make it larger and larger as it comes forward. The same with the road. Back here on the horizon line, I bring that road up and I make sure that when I draw that other line, I make sure that I widen it and keep it separated. Anything that is further back in your picture plane is smaller. The things that are in the front and lower in your picture plane is larger because they're closer to you, like this tree. You want to think about where you're putting those things so that you can bring your viewer into your picture. Fourth and fifth grade, I expect to see some animals or detail, maybe more people in your picture. Also think about the weather. What kind of time of day are you showing? I tried to show that it was like winter and it was about to snow because I made these little snowflakes. So you can tell a lot of information in your picture, what time of day, what season it is. You can tell a story of where it is in the country. So think about all those things. Show line by giving texture to your tree and using those textures and lines to give a little bit more emphasis about how the ground feels. And also both kindergarten and first grade and the older grades, remember, think about when you're drawing something, like especially the trees, they're fatter at the bottom, and as they go up, they get skinnier and they branch out. So work on your landscape. 4th and 5th grade, the front of your picture is called your foreground, where things are getting larger. In the background, that's where things get smaller. The horizon line is where the sky and the ground touch. So I hope that you enjoy this project. And when you get online, I want you to remember to look at the video of this artist. She is a very famous artist right now, and her work is being shown at the Contemporary Art Museum in Delaware. And she does a lot of royal pictures of landscapes about the farmlands in our area right now. So I'm also very interested in farms, and if you look at my painting, you can see that I also have been painting and concentrating on farms. And so those kind of things have interested me as well, about, you know, how things are changing with farming all across our country because of just everything's exported and all the building that we're doing. Some of our beautiful landscapes are disappearing. So try to make sure that you think about, you know, how to show distance in your picture. I really enjoyed having this time with you, and I hope that you will post your picture or send it to me in my email. Until I see you again, bye-bye.